Do you want to know how to spot a fake natural? It's not that hard.
Obviously, if somebody's taking gear, you're going to put at least 3 plates on there, maybe 4 or more, right? Doing a plate and a quarter is because, again, that's natty.
Well, sometimes it is hard because you never actually really know. That's why there's so many debates online about if someone's natural or not. It's one of the most hot, friggin' popular topics in the fitness industry. Greg Doucette, low-key, kind of made a career around it. Other guys like More Plates, More Dates have got incredibly popular and gotten a lot of attraction or interaction from it. And guys become popular over the drama that they cause about them being natural or not. Everyone's aware of it by now. And in this video, I actually want to give a few examples demonstrating how you can spot if someone is natural or not, and how sometimes you just never really know.
When people ask you about needles, injections, steroids, and so on, always say that you're scared of blood, that you're scared of needles, and that there's no way you could take them. For example, when Julian was asked about performance-enhancing drugs, he says he's scared of needles.
Right, I'm like afraid of needles. I hate needles like so much.
And so just because there are dozens of steroid options that you can take orally, or for example, SARMs and so on, droppers, pills, there's so many different ways. You have to say you're scared of needles, and that will perhaps move the needle.
Now, there are easy examples out there because sometimes it is extremely obvious. Let's take Mike O'Hearn, for instance. Mike O'Tren, the Titan, the Natty King, however you want to address him, he's the most popular fake natural in the world, let's be honest. Now, there are a few ways where you can discern that Mike is most likely not natural. And that's because he stayed big and lean all the time.
Tomorrow morning's a contest? It's crazy. I just, saw a bunch of people in the Excalibur this weekend, and I don't think anyone was as shredded as you are right now. And this is just your play around.
Natural bodybuilders, much like even enhanced bodybuilders, have to go through ups and downs, bulks and cuts, off seasons and preps. They have to get a little bit fat, a little bit chubby, where you can see it in their face and also in their belly and other body parts as well. But also they go through a cut where you can actually see their abs, shreds, vascularity, and all that. Everyone's aware of what that is by now, but Mike O'Hearn seems to be immune to that stuff, because if you look at him when he's in his 20s, 30s, 40s, and now 50s, the guy is big, but also lean and shredded at the same time. Also, a side note, naturals struggle to be big and lean at the same time unless they have incredible genetics. But even then, they have to go through bulks and cuts, whereas Mike isn't.
So is he natty or is he not?
You guys are kind of like a TV show.
Now, a point that Mike uses to say that he is natural, and a point that people use to defend Mike, is by saying that he's stayed incredibly consistent. If you stay consistent on your meals, sleep, and training all of the time, I'm sure you could get to that size, right? Now, it only works to a point because, as everyone knows, at some point in your life you start to deteriorate and you start to lose testosterone year on year, but for some reason, Mike doesn't admit to that.
Real question.
Go.
Are you actually on like TRT though?
What would be the point though?
I mean, because men's hormone levels dip as they get older.
No, they don't.
Not to call you old by any means, because you found the
They
found
don't.
of you.
No, because you guys say that. And so the
No,
idea...
that's medical science.
No, it isn't.
Have you gotten your levels checked?
So what is a low?
Now, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're friggin' in your 50s, almost 60s, and you look like this, that's borderline impossible. Another way you can spot fake naturals is by looking at how open they are about stuff like their blood work, drug tests, and whatnot. And Mike is reluctant to show that. He did this thing with Kenny KO. Kenny KO's on his friggin' backside, by the way, for years at this point. But he says stuff like this. Oh, he wants to see the blood work. I'll send you the blood work. Doesn't show the blood work. I think he might have shown like tidbits of the blood work. Like, look, come on.
You got the blood work?
Yeah, he's got the
Would you reveal the blood work?
Do you want us to give you the blood work first?
I mean, I'd always be happy to receive the blood work.
Let's wait till they see the blood work.
It's a yes or no.
I'm showing you the blood work,
Yeah.
so you can go with it,
Okay.
and then you can make your decision to the fans.
But yes or no, are you optimizing your hormones?
Are you trying to get views? He's trying to get views.
Someone who has, well, to be honest, blood work doesn't prove that you're natural, but it's a good indicator if you are or not. And if someone's not showing it at all, that's a clear sign that they're doing potentially something. Now, another example of someone who's most likely fake natural is someone like Hussein Farhat.
You guys have probably seen my transformation, and, the steroids accusations around it, and rightfully so. And I just wanted to tell you guys that everything was planned from day one. I decided to hop on gear. It was a small cycle, 300 EQ, 300 tests, 300 masterone, a little bit of Anavar and MK as well. And I did this for 16 months. I planned everything all along because I knew I was gonna, Greg was gonna make a video on me at some point. So as soon as it was the 16-month line, I hopped off and, reached out to Greg a couple months later.
Now, unlike Michael Hearn, he hasn't had the experience, age, or this overall history to be to the level of Michael Hearn. If we saw Hussein Farhat in like 30 years and he was the same, then okay, it would be similar to Michael Hearn. But he has something different that Michael Hearn didn't really have. And that was an insanely quick transformation. Now, everyone talks about how, he's been training for 3 years or whatever. If he has insane genetics, he could do that in 3 years. But do you want to know what he looked like in his first day? There you go. But do you know what he looked like after 6 months? There you go. Does that look natural? 6 months?
I wanted to get more girls, basically. That was my goal.
The main thing I had in mind before starting was like, it's going to take so long to get there. So I kept delaying it. But then I was like, the time's going to go by anyway. Like, I could have started when I was 17. Yeah. I'll start right now, and I started when I was 19.
Right here, Hussein gives us his exact reasoning for hopping on gear. He literally says that before he started working out, he put off starting his gym journey because he knew it was going to be a long process and didn't want to wait. This is why he ended up taking a shortcut. He didn't have the patience to do it the natural way and wanted an insane physique as fast as possible. So he simply decided to juice from day one and to lie to everyone about being natural.
Bearing in mind that he barely trained optimally in a garage with a broomstick. Now, movie actors are actually quite similar to this as well. They actually don't have the garage and the broomstick, but they have incredibly fast transformations. Now, contracts come through to these guys, they'll come through to their agent or whatever like that, and then it gets passed through to them. No, do you want to do this role? Do you want to do that role or whatever? And they have to basically be in a certain shape sometimes to play that role. One of the most popular ones recently could be something like a superhero. If someone gets the call to be a superhero, they need to be in superhero shape, right? And so what do? They have to train, but they have incredibly quick turnover schedules. They can't just, oh yeah, I'm going to train for 3 years and then I'll do the role. No, you might have to start filming in like 6 months. And so they'll go from like, okay, he's in good shape to, wow, you look friggin' jacked or you look shredded. Some examples of that are people like Hugh Jackman, who had the tilapia and beans, and occasionally some brown rice.
This is chicken and it's tilapia and beans. Tilapia and I don't know why tilapia. It must be some fish that is lean and green beans.
Other people include Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, why is it always Chris? Zac Efron, the guy who played friggin' Craven in that movie that friggin' flopped. Christian Bale, perhaps, even though it was like 20 years ago, he went from this in The Machinist to like this in Batman. Like he was friggin' bulked, and More Blades, More Dates made a video on this, funny enough.
Probably is easily in the top 3 of, most incredible body transformations. And the number of times he's done them puts him, at the top easily among anyone who's had to just completely transform themselves, like gaining upwards of 100 pounds going from The Machinist to the first Batman movie and then going back down for other roles. Like he's gone from emaciated to jacked, back to emaciated and back to jacked like several times now.
But this is what I mean. You can see that incredibly fast turnover in them getting in great shape, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
And you did that for a long time.
It's worth it. Worth it.
Yes, it's worth it.
He dieted for a long time. Oh, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Come on, mate. Really? Or is it more like, it's worth it? I don't know. Again, it's incredibly revealing, and they usually just blame it on, oh, I just trained twice a day, or I was eating chicken and rice all the freaking time, and all this stuff like that. They usually hide it behind stuff that people actually believe, because funny enough, people I know actually believe that Chris Hemsworth was just eating steamed food all the time, and that's how he got jacked. Really? Adversely, you can look at actors who've dropped weight really quickly. Look at 2 examples, Dave Bautista and The Rock. These guys were incredibly jacked, and funny enough, they were both wrestlers. Now, despite if they're friggin' natural or not, bro, that Bautista theme where he's there like, I walk alone. Mate, that goes so hard. But of course, these guys are incredibly not natural. They not only were wrestlers, but they also played movie roles where they were incredibly jacked guys.
I started trimming down for a particular reason. One, I started trimming down because I just got fat. I got fat.
Your version of fat is not fat.
No, I got really big for a role, and it was uncomfortably big.
Knock at the cabin?
And then I figured, knock at the cabin. I got really big. I was like around 315 pounds, and I put the weight on really fast.
So not like 315 in WWE?
No, definitely not. When I was younger, I was carrying lots and lots of muscle. This I had to put on, like, between films. I had a very short period of time to put this weight on. I packed it on with French fries and pancakes. That's how I did it.
Similar to Michael Hearn, they've stayed consistently that big and that lean over time. So of course that's a telltale sign. But another telltale sign is the fact that they dropped weight really quickly. We saw that with Dave Bautista last year. And what did he say? I went on a no meat diet or a vegan diet or something like that. And then he just dropped loads of weight. And The Rock did that recently as well, where, don't get me wrong, he's still jacked, but he just basically jumped off the juice for a freaking role.
Not to say that, there's no more big movies, because the big movies are fun, and there's a place for them in our business. But there's also a place for me in my career where it will allow me to disappear.
They might be thinking, how's weight loss not natural? And I'm not talking about retatrutide or GLP-1 agonists, peptides or Clen or T3 or anything like that. What I'm saying is when you're that lean and that muscular, what have you got to lose? You don't really have that much body weight to lose, so you have to lose muscle. And these guys train regularly anyway. So if it's under the guise that they're natural and they just dropped weight because they changed their diet up, no, it doesn't really work like that. If you're natural, you don't just lose weight that quickly. You lose those gains because you jump off of the anabolic androgenic steroids. It's so obvious.
Does anyone think that The Rock's actually natural? Well, my personal opinion, he's blasting everything under the sun. I don't believe he's only on HRT. I don't think you can get a physique like that while training with just HRT, especially as his age.
Other people lie about their natural status, then tell the truth about their natural status, and then nothing much really changes. And what I mean by that is someone like Gorilla, for instance. This guy, although not as known as someone like The Rock, or any of these actors, or any of these guys I've already named in this video, this guy was basically huge. He blew up because he claimed natural, and most people are like, yeah, there's no way this guy's freaking natural. Then he said, oh yeah, well now I've hopped on gear. So basically he was saying he's natural before, now he's hopped on, and you would expect to see a big change, right? No, there wasn't that much of a change. Now, sometimes you know with this stuff, and sometimes you just don't really know. Some people can just have incredible genetics. Someone like Hussein Farhat had people sticking up for him for ages until he was exposed as a fake natural or something like that. Julian Fitzgerald and other guys too. Shizzy and all these people will stick up. They'll have their fans who stick up for them. And I'm hard-pressed to think that it's anyone but 15-year-olds. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Because there's always that thing of, is he natty? Isn't he? I'm not really sure.
Or is he not?
You guys are kind of like a TV show.
And that's where I know you've been waiting for it.
1 in a million, 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 1 in how much? A million.
1 in a million comes in because people just hide behind the guise of, oh, it's just genetics, bro. Oh, it's just genetics, bro. I just have incredible genetics, bro. 1 in a million. 1 in how much? A million. A million. Yes, it's incredibly confusing sometimes, but some people, you just know, mate. But at the end of the day, this is something that will never go away. There's just a few telltale signs for how you can spot if someone's natural or not. And although it should be obvious to most people, some people generally just don't know.